All right, everybody, I'm doing this in one take because I genuinely do not want to edit a video on Christmas, but I have to say, we're winning. We did it, you guys. Justin Hammer is finally back in the Marvel Cinematic Universe in an episode of What If that, if I be honest, like, I was not the biggest fan of season one of What If. I think overall, like, looking back, I do enjoy it. It just felt like there were certain parts that weren't fully living up to, like, the fun of that premise. I do think season two is way better for a couple of reasons. I think that the ideas have been more fully baked in terms of like being big ideas, right? Mystery on Xandar, full kind of Avengers movie in like 30 seconds almost. Like I do think there were things about episode two. Someone pointed this out online, but it did feel like all the characters were speaking right over each other because it was like we have to cram this movie into 30 minutes. And you know, that's fine. Overall though, it's like cool. We saw, Bill Foster. I also really like this thing what we're doing this season of What If where like characters are coming back that I have not thought about in years, specifically the ones from Captain Marvel. That was very cool. And I do like having more of like Ego and Goliath and some of these one-off characters that we never really got to spend enough time with. Not that we didn't spend enough time with Ego, but Goliath was one that everyone was always like, man, where's he? What's he up to? It seems like he did stuff, right? What was it? Well, now it's like, this is what it could have been. And you know what? Now he's an action figure. Now all the big Goliath fans are happy, and I think his costume was okay. Like, I don't know, it had like echoes of the original Goliath costume mixed with what the Hawkeye Goliath costume looked like. So I can appreciate that. I do think that the animation's always been pretty good. I think the voice work is good so far. I think everybody that's been doing a voice has been doing a very good job. The way that I don't think there were some people in last season, some movie stars that weren't the greatest voice actors, but I do think this season we have a very talented crew that we've worked with so far. I do think Michael Douglas is really good at this. Okay, let's not say that. He's not the best voice actor that's ever lived, but like his voice has a lot of character for stuff like this. And I kind of remember that from the episode of season one, episode 3, but then also in this episode where we see a lot of Hank Pym in episode 2 of season 2, it's like, I don't know, he's good. I enjoyed him. And I think it's great putting Hope and Peter in the same room because that's the kind of character interaction of like both of their moms died when they were young. They were raised by a father, kind of. That is a very like fun, interesting connection point we'll never see in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So put it in a What If. That's great. But, as much as I liked episode 1, which I really liked, and episode 2, which I quite liked as well, episode 3 of What If is, it's designed for me. So I have to make a video to basically say thank you to What If episode 3 of season 2, whoever made it. I should look that up. I mean, that's definitely information I can have. I will say, like, the storyline, first of all, if I was not the biggest Justin Hammer fan in the world, I am also a big Die Hard guy. I do think I've sort of cooled on it as I found other Christmas movies and like Christmas things that are kind of more my favorite thing. But I love Die Hard. Like, I'm sure I could, I've seen it a bazillion times. And I think it's a very good movie and a very fun movie. Obviously, like if you've never watched it, because I'm sure there's people, and you're like, who cares? Bruce Willis. Yes, sure. He's good in it. But the Alan Rickman of it all is so entertaining. He's so good. And that's why I do think, while he's not like Sam Rockwell's not like a modern day Alan Rickman, although they are friends from Galaxy Quest. I don't know about friends. Well, actually, they are friends because in Alan Rickman's diary, the same one where he was like, Tim Allen sucks, he wrote that when they were working on Galaxy Quest, Sam Rockwell apologized because the Americans were being annoying. And I think specifically was apologizing for Tim Allen. And I don't know. I mean, it's one diary entry, but it feels on brand for how those three would interact. Now, I think that the idea of having him be the Hans Gruber of this is great because Hans Gruber is exactly this character, right? He is a somewhat sophisticated, classy guy who wears fancy suits and eats fancy, like food, but is also really just kind of a guy who wants to steal and, to kind of play this role to get status that he believes he deserves. I think Hans Gruber is a far more competent character than Justin Hammer, but you can see shades of both of these characters in each other. I think that the idea of like infiltrating Avengers Tower is very fun. The idea of rebooting Jarvis is fun. We've never seen him do that, but it is like, yeah, I mean, if he did that, that would be hard to deal with, especially if the AI that you get to replace your Jarvis is apparently Werner Herzog or something. That was awesome. So that was cool. But just overall, and I say this as Justin Hammer's number one fan. I say holding my cup and my ex-wife. He's got to be a fun character to write for, right? Like it is a character who, and I say this knowing like I've written 2 scenes with him in videos, like, obviously not official writing, but like figuring out what he would say, because he does. And Sam Rockwell's great at this, like just speak, and this character wants to talk, wants to hear himself talk. He's very corny, but he's also kind of good at this. So like he'll make a reference, right? Hulk Hogan, that was him. That was a good line. And like stuff like that fits very well and makes him fun. I enjoyed his nice little monologue about PR and villains and stuff. I thought that was good. Just, yeah, overall, I was very impressed with it. I think the facial animations were solid. It definitely looked like him, like it captured the spirit of him. And he got to, wear the Iron Man suit, like a, Hulkbuster, and beat up Happy, who I was not familiar with this storyline, the Freak storyline from like Tales of Adventure or something, Tales of Astonish, 1960s, very old comic. I want to say it's issue 74. It's one of the ones where it's like half Captain America, half Iron Man issues. The Iron Man issues for like 3 books are just Happy Hogan gets injected with the serum that turns him into not like a big purple guy either, like a just a bigger kind of bald guy who has superpowers and is the Freak. And that is what he was credited as in this. So that's what they were pulling from, apparently. I wasn't aware of that. I was very confused in the moment why he was purple, but I mean, it's cool. It was good. Yeah, overall, I think this episode was very fun. Darcy was good. Maria Hill's back. Is this last like time Kobe Smulders has played this character? Because if that's the case, then this episode is even better, because it means that her Secret Invasion death won't be her last time playing Maria Hill on screen, which is nice. And I think Jon Favreau was good in this. Like, I think he was fun. I think overall this was just like, I think the tone of this season has been good, right? Tone of episode 1 was so clear. It wasn't just we're gonna redo Guardians of the Galaxy, but Nebula instead of Peter. It was like we're doing a Blade Runner, neo noir kind of thing on Xandar with the Nova Corps. It's like it's beautiful, and it really did. It still had that Marvel kind of fun. There were plenty of good little jokes in there. Howard the Duck was a main character, but beyond that, there was like, it did feel like something that you could not just imagine. Right, I don't want to like put this all on Captain Carter, because I think it's a good place to start, but I do think that like that just didn't feel like a full examination of that premise. Whereas, recorded this in the morning because the show just aired. Whereas the Nebula one feels like a really, this is a fun little one-off story that we're doing. I think like one-off different Avengers is great, and then this one weird little holiday cartoon thing it was good. It was funny. I like that they were pretty much doing Turbo Man with the Iron Man Hawkeye toys being sold out. I think that's funny. I like that Justin Hammer danced. I don't know. I have one hope. This is my one hope, and I'm sure if you've watched my videos and seen like my background, you can kind of tell. I buy a lot of the Marvel Legends. I think they're fun. I really don't have any purpose for them. I don't like play with them. I just like having them. I hope, really, really, really hope that they make a Justin Hammer Marvel Legend from What If, because I did think we'd have to wait until like 4 or 5 years or whenever the next time he shows up is. But I'm like, no, if he's memorable, if people really like him, if they make a wave of Justin Hammers, I will buy at least 2. I want everybody else to buy one so they like it and it's not a huge bust. But like, I don't know. I'm very pleased. I think this year has been all over the place, especially for Marvel. Maybe the best movie they've ever made, and maybe one of their least best movies, one of their best shows, one of their least best shows. Like, it's been a lot of that. But looking back, I think this Justin Hammer on What If makes it all worth it. And I think that whoever it is, let's look it up. I know some of the creative people on there. I know AC Bradley, I believe, gets a lot of is like credited as, I don't know. I see, that's the thing with these shows that aren't like driven, like with the movies, it is very driven by certain creatives. This is a Sam Raimi movie. This is whatever. But with the rest of this, it's like, I don't know. If they don't put this on the front page, it is easy to miss. Who wrote and directed everything? All right, let's see. Season 2. Okay. Excuse me. I'm so sorry about the yawning. Okay. Let's see. Director, Brian Andrews. So first of all, Brian Andrews, terrific job. Worked on Doctor Strange. Art department. Okay, cool. Very good. Wrote some of Primal, wrote some Samurai Jack, Powerpuff Girls, Teenage Robot. Good stuff. And then directed this, doing an episode of the Marvel Zombies. 5 episodes of Jackie Chan Adventures, one of my favorites. Very good. And then, we got 2 writers on here. We have writing credits for A.C. Bradley and Matthew Chauncey. Chauncey? Yeah, Chauncey. Who did some Thor Love and Thunder. Wrote some Miss Marvel. And by did some Thor Love and Thunder, I guess he was a script doctor. I didn't know that was on the IMDb pages. But Matthew Chauncey, whoever you are, and A.C. Bradley, thank you so much for this wonderful Christmas gift. I'm going to go to sleep and then do Christmas stuff. And I hope everyone has a wonderful holiday. I hope, Justin Claus comes to, your house and he leaves you a bunch of nice presents like this wonderful ex-wife and not, Stark Cole or whatever the bad version of that is. We will talk in the new year. Bye, everybody.